It's been less than a year since Mario Götze scored this wonder goal to win the World Cup for Germany, but the 2018 qualifying has already begun, so let's take a look at the first round in Asia. 2018 qualifying began at the National Stadium in Dili as Timor-Leste took on Mongolia. Timor-Leste is East Timor, for those who don't actually know. The opening goal came from Quito in the 4th minute, and 3 minutes later he'd add to his tally with a bit of pinball action. The score remained 2-0 until the 84th minute, where Silva would get one, and then Nato a minute later. One of those goals is missing, I don't know which one it is. Bat Monkin got one back from Mongolia in the 87th minute, but the match finished 4-1 to Timor-Leste. The return leg took place 5 days later at the MFF Football Centre in Ulaanbaatar, and it was the same outcome. Patrick scoring the only goal, as Timor-Leste win 5-1 on aggregate. India faced Nepal at the Indira Gandhi Athletic Stadium in Guwahati, and they'd take a 53rd minute lead through Chetri. Chetri would bag himself a second in the 71st minute to give India a 2-0 lead going into the second leg. They didn't have to wait long for that second leg at the Dasarath Rangasala Stadium in Kathmandu. Fans hoping that Nepal could get back into the tie. Unfortunately they couldn't, and the game finished 0-0. Here's a free kick that was close. India go through 2-0 on aggregate. We now go to the National Stadium in Kaohsiung in Taiwan as Chinese Taipei took on Brunei. Brunei took a 36-minute lead through Adi, giving them a 1-0 away advantage. They took their 1-0 advantage to the second leg at the Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah Stadium in Bandar Seri Begawan. But in this seemingly slow motion video, Wang Rui would get Chinese Taipei a goal back in the 37th minute. Taipei would then complete the comeback in the 53rd minute through Chu En-lei, giving them a 2-1 aggregate victory. Next up, we have Cambodia taking on Macau at the Army Stadium in Phnom Penh. Cambodia would take a 64th minute lead through Vafanaka. Eventually, Vafanaka would get a second with a fantastic free kick in the 81st minute. Labaravi would complete the scoring in the 4th minute of injury time to make it 3-0 going into the second leg. The second leg took place 5 days later at the Estadio Campo Esportivo in Taipa, and it was the same old story to begin with, as Bin scored a free kick in the 28th minute to give Cambodia the lead. Cambodia did concede a penalty in the 52nd minute, giving Macau a chance to get back into the game. Kinda. Leong Kar Hang scored the penalty, but unfortunately they couldn't get any more, and the match finished 4-1 on aggregate. The Sugadatha Stadium in the Sri Lankan capital of Colombo played host to the first ever World Cup qualifying game for Bhutan. Bhutan would take the lead in the 84th minute through Dorji, giving them also a first ever World Cup qualifying win. And look how cool their shirts are. But you think their shirts are cool, you ain't seen nothing until you've seen their stadium. You can see it right now, the Chang Limafang Stadium in Thimphu. Look at that stand. You don't see that very often. Anyway, Bhutan would take the lead in the 5th minute through Chencho Gyaltsen, the apparent Cristiano Ronaldo of Asia. And with a finish like that, you can understand the nickname. Sri Lanka would get a goal back in the 35th minute through Zarwan, although not quite as good a finish there.
And then there it is, the first goal for Sri Lanka, scored from a corner.
Gyaltsen would get back on the score sheet in the 90th minute to get Bhutan second and their third on aggregate, and give them the 3-1 aggregate win that would take them to the second round against all the big boys, such as Australia and Japan.
It might still be early to say anything, but Bhutan is on the road to Russia.
Security concerns meant Yemen had to take on Pakistan at the Grand Hamad Stadium in Doha in Qatar. Al Matri would get a rebound off that penalty in the 3rd minute to give Yemen a 1-0 lead. In the second half, Bokshan would score in the 57th minute to make it 2-0. Pakistan would get a penalty in the 67th minute, we don't know how, but it was converted by Bashir. However, 2 minutes later, Al Sasi would score back down the other end to keep Yemen's 2-goal advantage. More security concerns meant that Pakistan had to play their home leg at the Khalifa Sports City Stadium in Isa Town in Bahrain, and unfortunately for Pakistan the game finished 0-0, meaning Yemen would take the win 3-1 on aggregate and take their place in the next round. It also meant unfortunately we had no goals to show you in the last game of the video. I hope the 2 near chances made up for it, at least a little. I hope you've enjoyed this first look at the 2018 World Cup qualifiers. If you've enjoyed it, please give the video a like or maybe subscribe to the channel.